So when Al Wydick appointed you as the administrative assistant,
Yeah.
that was about 77, I'm guessing?
1977.
Right, yeah.
1977, and that was just before the strike.
Right.
I got that job. So that was a new experience too, of course.
Right. Yeah, it was.
And
We talked to Al about that a couple of years back.
yeah, yeah.
So, well, let's go there. How was it with that? I mean, that was only the third strike in our history, and
Well, now the first strike I went to when I got to Seattle was in 1965. And I walked the picket line, and the strike was dragging on, and I could see that I was getting financially embarrassed. So I got a part-time job until the strike was over, and so that helped. And and then later on, we came up with the strike in 1977, and at that time I was on the staff. And so I helped with the picket line and then handing out checks and one thing and another during the strike. And then the last strike I was involved with was in 1989. And I was a business rep at that time. And so I did the necessary stuff there. And that was really a difficult time. We were given per diem, of course, and I used in fact, I used my per diem to help people out with buying gas and buying groceries and one thing and another. So that was a rough time. But all three of those strikes, I felt that the union made good progress as far as getting added benefits to the contract up through those years. Strikes are tough, but it's nice if you can go through a strike and have some sort of improvement, you know.
that's true. Going back, how was it working with Al Wydick?
Oh, he was an excellent boss. You know, being a rookie in there, I made mistakes, and he was an excellent boss. The worst thing he ever said to me after I made a mistake, he said, "Donald," that was it. So he was an excellent boss. Tom Baker was a good boss too. But when I first got in there, I needed a lot of help, and there was Phil Kruger and Bill Baker and Bill Bogue and other people, and Jerry Dargis, of course. They were all a big help to me. When I had a problem out in the shop and I didn't have an answer, I could get on the phone. And but it was just a real good job. I really enjoyed it.
Now, when Baker came in, I believe it was 81.
I don't remember the year, but yeah.
Al had one term, I believe, and then Baker came in.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Were you a business rep by then?
Let's see. Boy, oh boy, boy, boy. Yeah, I think I was.
Okay, so you
I think I was a business
stayed on
rep,
staff.
and I stayed, you know, of course, a business rep under
Okay.
Wydick and Tom
Yeah,
both.
how was it working with Tom? Was it different than Al, or?
Tom was a good boss. I didn't make any serious mistakes under him, but he was a good boss, and when I had a problem, he was quick to help me through that problem. But both Tom and Al were good, as far as I was concerned, handling my problems.
Okay. Now, back when you hired in, or at least in Seattle, we still had an open shop at that time.
Yes.
I think that finally changed in '86.
Yeah.
Around there.
I think that Bill Walkema was still Secretary Treasurer at that time.
Yeah. So.
And
What was it like working in an open shop versus when?
Well,
were
you
closed?
know, you have your feelings about these people that are, I say, free riders, and but there was times when you had to associate with them to do your job, you know. But other than that, I tried not to be too friendly with them because they knew how I was, and I knew how they were. It's a problem.
So the one union office that you ran for election was business rep.
Mm.
Well,
Well, wait a minute. I ran for district council before that.
okay. Well,
Yeah, I
let's
forgot
talk
about that. Yeah.
District council, were you an officer in your local?
Let's see. No, I wasn't. I wasn't an officer in the local.
Okay, but you ran for district council.
Yeah, and Al Weidick and Phil Kruger both talked to me about running for that position because at that time I wasn't ready to be a union representative. They just wanted me to get more involved.
Yeah.
And at that time I was kind of critical of the union. I felt that better things should be happening. And they said, well, get involved. So I got involved.
So what was it like being on the district council? I think we were still over in Georgetown at that time.
Yes, down on Airport Way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what kind of things did you do on district council?
I wasn't on any committees. I just went to the meetings and participated, but I don't recall being on any particular committee at this time.
So what do you feel are some of the more important things that you were able to achieve during your career that you like to look back on?
Well, you know, being away, I'm retired for over 22 years, I haven't had a lot of time to try to remember some of this stuff. After I leave this meeting, I'll probably remember a whole bunch of stuff. But I was involved in some arbitration cases. Some were good and some weren't so good. But I did have some accomplishments where I won some awards. I think the biggest back pay award that I had was $16,000. I remember that one. And I had some others too, but I think that was probably the best one I had, was about $16,000 back pay, and a person got back to work. And that was a fighting incident. And then, but that's the only one I can really think of and put a amount on it, because I thought $16,000 settlement was pretty good.
Yes.
And getting somebody back to work, you know.
So during that period of time of your career, what do you look back on that you think was really good about the union, that people can look back with pride, and that they enjoy stuff today that you were able to win back then, you and the other officers?
Okay, well, during that time frame when we went into negotiations with the company, we were in negotiations on jobs, of course, and I worked in the wind tunnel. When I went to work in the wind tunnel, the top grade in there was grade 8 and grade 10. And through my efforts, through Tom Baker at the time, we were able during negotiations to upgrade that shop to a grade 9 and a grade 11. And I felt real good about that. And but I think that was probably one of the biggest things that I did when I was a business rep during the negotiations, through twisting Tom Baker's arm and told him to push to help my people in the wind tunnel, you know.
Yeah.
And I had a bunch of good people in the wind tunnel that I worked with, a good bunch of people. During the election day, we had Greyhound buses come in the plant and haul my people out to go vote at lunchtime, and that was pretty exciting.
So in that same period of time, do you look back on any strides that the union took that advanced our membership?
Well, I think it was great that we managed to get a union shop. I don't remember the time frame, but I do remember that Waccama was Secretary Treasurer at that time, but I don't remember the years. But getting a union shop was a big asset, I think, to get the union stronger. Mm-hmm. Since we had it changed over to a union shop, and they had some senior people at the company that were grandfathered out. As soon as they retired, there was no more non-union people working, but some of them got grandfathered in as they didn't have to join the union, in other words. That they had an agency fee, I think it was, that they called, that some people got involved with, and I don't remember all the details about that.